how's it going so far? We're 10 months into it, and it's nice to know this picture was actually taken from some of our graduates. Some people actually graduating from a Strive program where they're getting educational services, and our judge, the judge who's assigned to the mandatory supervision court, who also, by the way, handles PRCS and parole, so she is very, very busy. She actually went to the graduation and snapped this picture and sent it to me because that's how dedicated she is to the reentry and rehabilitation process. So far, we have had 304 cases that have gone through a pre-release hearing. That's 276 defendants that have actually, on their way out, gone to the pre-release hearing. There is nobody that is released on mandatory supervision that does not have a pre-release hearing, does not have their conditions reviewed, and go through the process with the team in court. Every single offender will go through this. And one of the important things our judge notes for them is this is not business as usual. You are still doing your prison sentence. You are doing it in the community, and we are going to expect a lot out of you. You are going to have to work hard. We're going to hold you accountable, and you can hold us accountable too, because we are working on this together. So far, between the offenders that have the pre-release and have come back, we've had 697 review hearings so far. And we're now educating our attorneys, the bench, the defense attorneys, DAs, the whole gamut on what this process is, because like Billy said, it is a paradigm shift. So we are teaching our brethren that this is a better way of doing business, and we're getting supervision, so it makes more sense to split sentences, because then we can get people into the treatment, we can hold them accountable, and we will be less likely to see them back. So we are seeing that there's consistency across the board, that we're getting more split sentences slowly as we do the education and marketing of this. We're having more immediate consequences for behavior, so offenders know they will be held accountable and there will be ramifications for their behavior. They are getting enhanced supervision, enhanced drug treatment, treatment options, because the judge is directing all of that and making sure that they're going to a place that they know that where they'll be living. They know that they're going to treatment. And if they step off, they're coming back to see that same judge. And so far, we have seen a lower recidivism rate for the offenders who are going through the process as opposed to those who have gotten a straight sentence. Now, they did not like this when it first happened. We actually had to send the judge, the DA that goes to court, and the defense attorney that actually went to the sheriff's department and met with the offenders to explain to them that they were going to be in mandatory supervision court. And it was kind of interesting because they had had a CBT class right before that, and they had a CBT class right after. And I was at the CBT class after they had this meeting, and one of the offenders said, "Oh, I am learning from the CBT class, because when that redheaded DA started talking, I really got mad, but I controlled myself and I thought about what the consequences might be." So we know CBT works. But we have some challenges. We're trying to educate our bench. We're trying to educate our DAs, our defense attorneys, to understand what we have for mandatory supervision court. And we're trying to learn about being effective and not just efficient, because we're really good in the criminal justice system at being efficient and moving cases through the system. We're not so good at being effective and trying to address the right things to the right offenders and lower the risk of recidivism. So we've done some good education programs. We just had a county-wide evidence-based training, and we are slowly but surely coming around to this. We're trying to get increased programming in custody. One of our big issues is dual diagnosis, which I'm sure is an issue for everybody statewide, trying to find treatment programs that also address mental health issues. So that's a focus for us, as well as employment and housing. We're trying to learn how to be more creative and in how we handle offenders with risk and needs, and using the right incentives and sanctions, and distinguishing between users and addicts. And one of the most important things, and probably the biggest cornerstone, is building trust. Learning to trust our partners and learning to track our outcomes so that we can show what is working and what is not working. And so that's something that has been a big focus for us. We're working with also an outside evaluator in hopes that we can demonstrate that the things that we're doing are more effective at reducing recidivism.